So a remarkable thing has happened. We've got this far into our Newsgeist event, and we have not talked about the U.S. presidential campaign. But wait, we've got one more night talk. I think it's safe to say that how we cover this election, the need to cover this election in a way that's more than just a horse race, to move and talk in a way that speaks to and crosses the divisive nature of so much of what's out and in the marketplace. That's something that's an urgent need for us. And Tina Rosenberg has been really thinking about this question and is going to bring some suggestions to us tonight. So Tina, if you'll cap off our Ignite Talks tonight.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. So we have heard from newsroom after newsroom that you are not looking forward to covering the 2024 campaign. You don't want to repeat the coverage of last time. Now, people in this room obviously did great election coverage, but as most of us know, everybody else's coverage is pretty bad. It was horse race coverage, how the day's events affected the chances of the candidates. It was polls, brief video of candidate activity and an inflammatory quote, scandal. In short, I don't think my slides are advancing. There we go. It's toxic, superficial, polarizing, distorted, unhelpful to voters, and just plain icky. And the research says that too. We know it in our guts also. So I want to talk about a new way. For the past 2 years, the Solutions Journalism Network has been running an intensive program working with newsrooms called Advancing Democracy. And we do this in collaboration with Harkin and Trusting News. And the purpose is to teach and pilot a new way to cover campaigns. We have been running versions of this cohort for several years, and each time running more and more, and we're not the only ones. Harkin has been doing this. Jay Rosen, who's sitting right here, his Citizens Agenda, has been leading this movement, and the Membership Puzzle Project when it existed. But the Advancing Democracy program is really the most comprehensive, I think. And here, those are the goals. So with each cohort, the newsrooms have become more and more successful. But I want to say 2 caveats. First of all, sorry, Chris, but this is not going to be about the presidential campaign. This is really a way to cover local and state elections. And the other thing is, it's not hard to do, it's easy to do. What's hard to do is turning away from coverage as usual, or at least giving up part of that coverage as usual. So now we are doing a version of, a light, short version of the Advancing Democracy curriculum for any newsroom who wants it. We're still in the process of designing it, and I would love your input. It will likely have a self-paced course with regular discussion groups and individual coaching. And we need advice on the best ways to offer this for your newsroom. So how do we campaign? How do we cover campaigns differently? Step 1 is create and publish a mission statement. One reason is to tell your community that you are doing something different. The second reason is to help you avoid temptation. It's a way to burn your boats. Do we cover these shenanigans or this latest poll? Well, we made a promise to our community and we published it, and this doesn't really fit in, so the answer is no. So publishing those mission statements helps to keep us on track. 2, listen to your community. What do people who live here want politicians to be talking about? There are many ways to listen, and Citizens Agenda and Harkin are really the experts on this, so you can go to theirs. But we hope to use some of that material in the course. Does the community want to be listened to? Do journalists like listening to the community? Overwhelmingly, the response is yes. So you can read this quote from Kara Meinberg-Guzman and from Santa Cruz Local. And one thing that they did is they also raised $20,000 around the solutions journalism they did as part of this effort. As Kara implies, if you are representing the community, it's easier to get politicians to talk to you. Step 3, report on the community's problems and their solutions. Some topics. How do these problems happen? Who's doing a better job of solving them? And if those are elsewhere, can those be brought to our community? What role did the candidates have in creating problems and solutions? So, of course, solutions, right? Solutions. So, solutions coverage means these four things. It's about a response. It's not about good intentions. It measures the available evidence of success. It provides insight, what made this work, not just inspiration. And it covers what is not working about the response. You must cover the limitations. So part of the reason to do solutions journalism is that it makes your issue-based reporting, it makes it less like broccoli for your audience. And people want it. There's a lot of research that says that. This is from Smith Geiger's newest poll, which took place, a national poll in September. And this audience is an opportunity for all of us. These are people who are unhappy with and don't engage with current news coverage. And shockingly, their interest in solutions does not vary by age or income or political persuasion. There's not much you can say that fits into that category. Step 4, hold politicians accountable. Their job is to solve community problems. Are they doing their job? How much do politicians talk about the issues that really matter to the community? What else are they talking about instead? What solutions do they advocate? What do we know about how well those solutions work? And what do they think about the solutions that you have reported on and brought to the public debate? Step 5, report on democracy, really. Many of you publish a voter's guide, and that's great. But go beyond it. Cover elections and democracy all the time, not just on election day or during a campaign. Answer questions from the community about their rights and their voting. And cover the threats to democracy that are affecting our voters. Again, take a solutions approach. What have people done around the country to solve these common problems? So one resource that I'd like to tell you about is SJN's Solution Story Tracker. And you can see the URL up on top. We collect, vet, summarize, tag, and link to solutions journalism. And we now have about 15,000 articles in the tracker. 374 of them were on elections a couple days ago, and 1,000 of them, more than 1,000, were on all aspects of democracy. So it's a great place to look for ideas about what other journalists have done. So thank you. I would really welcome your help in thinking through this course and how to make it work for you in your newsroom and how we can structure it best. So this time, let's do better. Thank you.